Austin Moe is with us on the show. Austin, thanks for being here, man.
Thanks, man. It's an honor.
Same here. So now, I was reading your bio, and at the age of 12, you discovered, and correct me if I'm wrong on anything here, but according to what I'm reading, at the age of 12, you discovered your love for the electric guitar. But before that, you were way into Guitar Hero, and your dad saw that you mastered it. So how old were you when you started playing Guitar Hero?
Oh, I was probably, I want to say 9 or 10, I believe.
So was it your dad getting you the guitar where you were like, okay, I want to learn how to play real guitar? Because I know so many kids that are like, I play the game, and then, they never go on to try to learn actual guitar.
Well, the thing that happened was he asked me if I was interested in playing the guitar, and I was like, well, I mean, maybe, but I don't have one. And so he called his friend, because it got to the point where I would walk around the house and either like make food or kind of like do chores without really missing any of the notes on the game without looking at it. So I was memorizing the song, but in the plastic button version of it. And so my dad saw that, and he was like, oh, he's either got to be a guitar player, or we got to figure out what he's going to do.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you, is your dad a rock and roll guy? Was he into rock and roll?
He plays the radio very well, but yeah, he's total classic rock, AC/DC, Kiss, Dio.
Okay, there you go. Growing up, were you, was your dad always playing his kind of music? Is that what you were exposed to?
Yeah, my mom actually told me that when I was 2.5 to 3, my dad was playing TNT by AC/DC, and I was in the car seat in the back singing along to it in the intro.
Okay, so you were exposed. So when the stuff you were playing on Guitar Hero was all rock and roll, and so were you totally into rock and roll, or, like some kids, were you into other stuff, like maybe pop music or anything like that?
No, the modern music when I was growing up really didn't tickle my fancy. I mean, when my dad had control of the radio, he would put on like Kiss and like the Best of Montrose and Ozzy Osbourne, and my mom would play Johnny Cash. So I had the best of both worlds when it came to good music.
Yeah, that you did. Who have you gone to see, like, live?
Ooh, that's okay. I have to think for a second. So I've seen ZZ Top, Creedence, B.B. King, Peter Frampton, Kiss 3 or 4 times on their last umpteenth tours.
Yeah.
Leonard Skinner with Bad Company, and that was amazing.
Yeah.
Let's see, who else? I opened up for Eric Gales. We got to see Joe Bonamassa.
Nice.
I've seen Kenny Wayne Shepherd, Buddy Guy, Johnny Lang, Sammy Hagar on his 40th Red Rocker tour. I've seen Tesla.
So you've seen a lot of good bands, and you've seen a good mix of bands, because in the bands you just named, there's a lot of blues rock players that inspire you, but also bands like, Kiss. So, it's pretty well rounded. So you've seen some great bands. Now, when you were 16 years old, you were one of 5 kids in the entire United States chosen to play music internationally in Europe with the Blues Kids of America. That is incredible. And then since that time, you've been inducted into the Brotherhood of the Guitar, and you've been chosen to participate in several national guitar competitions, such as the Guitar Slingers Contest in Seattle, Washington. You were one of 16 people chosen out of 2,000 people to perform at the Mopop Museum. And in addition, you were also one of 60 people out of 5,000 people to perform in Brookfield, Wisconsin for the Wilson Center Guitar Festival competition in 2017. That is very impressive. Very
Thank you.
impressive. Well, you're welcome. So, you strike me watching you play and reading what I have read, as a virtuoso, you strike me as somebody that was born to do this.
Yeah, I think it's always been in my DNA.
Yeah.
Even well before Guitar Hero was like my addiction, we'll call it. My friends would be like, "So, what do you want to be?" And like when I was in like first and second grade, I was like, just stereotypical. I want to be a cop or whatever. And then like upwards of like fourth to fifth, I'm like, I'm gonna be a rock star. And they're like, "No, you're not." I'm like, "Yeah, I think I am."
I love
That's
that.
what I'm gonna
man.
do.
I love that. Now, your new single is out and it's doing quite well. Let me ask you, obviously we know where your guitar inspiration comes from. Where does your lyric inspiration come from?
For this song and kind of my songwriting in general, it's more or less what's happening either around me or what's happening on in the world. And for this song in particular, the lyrics to me are about reaching out to God when facing hard times, because I'm personally a Christian. I was born and raised in the church up here in Northern California. And whenever I've had difficulties and troubles with either drama or like school and stuff like that, I've always reached out to God for guidance and wisdom. And just watching what's been going on with COVID-19 and stuff, and so many people have been in such a difficult place where, it's the first time I've ever experienced this, let alone, I'm sure for a lot of people have experienced this kind of a situation. And to me, it just symbolizes, you can reach out to God and there will be hope and it'll calm the storm.
Now, I like that. And the song is called The River. And now the video, it's interesting now that you tell me that you're a Christian, that's where your inspiration comes from. The concept of the video, which, by the way, is a phenomenal video.
Thanks.
But you're welcome. And I'll get to the technical stuff in a second. But the concept for the video, was that part of your concept, being a Christian and the guy being, obviously people need to see the video. We're doing radio. But there's a guy that, gets baptized or born again, whatever it is, in the video. So was that your idea, that concept? Who came up with that?
Yeah, that part, I wanted that part of the video to be more visually kind of literal, because the lyrics are subliminally about, what I just talked about.
Right.
But I think with that added visual perspective, it adds to, the overall message of the song.
Where did you guys shoot that video?
I agreed with the owner for a little bit of disclosure on his part, but it's in Northern California, and it's at this dude's house, and holy cow, man, it is like walking into, it doesn't even feel like you're in California anymore. It is just so beautiful up there where he lives.
I figured it was California because I'm like, well, I'm sure they didn't fly somewhere to do this. But,
Yeah.
You're right. It doesn't look like it. And it is like gorgeous scenery. And anytime I see bands doing like these videos, like you're up there and you're standing on the rock at the edge of the cliff, I'm always like, oh my God, please don't fall,
Oh my gosh. Yeah. We had to take a couple of minutes of in between shots sometimes because we'd get dizzy.
I believe it, man. So how long did it take you guys to actually shoot the video?
To shoot the video, from start to finish, we shot on 2 different days, and those days probably took, one of them was like, 6 hours, and the other one was probably more of like 8 or so, from like start to finish, load in and all that stuff.
That's pretty quick, man, because it looks great. It's a great video. And another thing I really like about the video is the band's performance in it, which is not easy to do, especially for a new band, when you're not really actually playing and you're outside and you have to make it look like you are playing. Your performance part is phenomenal, which includes your band, especially your drummer. I love the drummer. You know,
Yeah,
towards
thanks,
the end,
man.
like when he gets up in the end and he's banging on the drums, I'm like, this is great, man. This is like phenomenal. Which leads me to, how did you find your band? Because once you said, okay, I want to be a rock star, how did you find these guys? How long have they been with you?
So my current lineup that the guys that are playing in the video, the bass player and I have always known each other throughout school. We live in the same town, and so like we would run into each other in like elementary school, and then in high school we would kind of have like conversations because we knew each other as musicians. But it was only after high school that we really started hanging out and really becoming friends. And I think that's in part of what makes the video kind of gel as far as me and the bass player, because we're already at that friendly level. And then, we're both really good musicians. So that kind of chemistry bounces back and forth with each other.
All right, Austin Moe, it has been a pleasure talking to you. You seem like you have your head on in a really good place, and I like that.
I'm really thankful that you called. It was an honor.
Well, same here. I am thankful to be talking to you, man. So thank you very, very much.